Good morning, everyone. So my name is Gino Vella. My project was over the effects of caffeine supplementation on maximal exercise. So what is caffeine exactly? Um, it is a stimulant that's naturally occurring that acts or works on the central nervous system and gives you that feeling of alertness. So although you might feel like you're getting energy when you take it, you're really not. It's just more of a stimulant on the central nervous system, and that's where you get that alertness from. So the purpose of my research study was to evaluate the effects of caffeine supplementation on exercise performance. So uh, what I did was I had 12 female participants from the ages of 18 to 25 years participate in this study, and so. Um, they did two maximal exercise tests on two separate days, which included running on a treadmill using the Bruce protocol. So every 3 minutes it rose an incline level, and the variables that were being measured were the heart rate max, VO2 max, rate of perceived exertion, and the overall time that it took them to go or to do the test. So the overall time that they were on the treadmill for. So RPE was measured by having a paper in front of them with the scale of 6 to 20, and 6 being the easiest, 20 being the hardest. And they were to point to the number that the difficulty was at. They had to point because, like you can see in this picture, this is basically how they were set up. They couldn't really talk because of the headpiece and mouthpiece that were on there. And with that was for the maximal oxygen or the VO2 to be measured. That was the equipment for that. And then around them was the heart rate monitor that allowed us to track the heart rate every 3 minutes as well. And so then trial one included meeting up with myself, the researcher, and then the participants consumed 300 milligrams of caffeine. That was dissolved in water, or crystal light that was dissolved in water, both of which were unknown to the participants. And crystal light was the placebo. And they didn't know who was getting what, only I did. I kept track of that. And so then after consuming that, they waited 30 minutes or after before starting the maximal exercise test, just to allow for it to absorb and get it in the body. And so trial two was the same thing. It followed the same trial. It was just or same procedures as trial one, and it began 7 days after trial one. And then the drink that was not consumed was consumed this time. And again, I was the one keeping track of that, and they didn't know this time either. And so overall, the results found that caffeine does improve exercise performance in women by lowering the overall time that it takes to get or to reach their VO2 max and their heart rate max, and also lowered the rate of perceived exertion. So essentially, it was easier for them, and the amount of time that they spent doing the test was longer, so they were able to go for longer amounts of time.